Welcome back to a new data science interview exercise video. In this video, we are going to have a dataset about cars and we are going to solve some interview questions using SQL. You can both try to solve the questions by yourself or you can watch me how I solve the questions. The questions are going to be from easy to hard. I try to cover the topics that you can see on a SQL interview. So let's start coding. So let's create our data table. I'm going to create a table with you and I'm going to insert the values of record. I'm going to create a table with you because I want you to understand the table better. So we are going to create a table as cars and we are going to say car ID. It's going to be integer and it's going to be primary key like this. And we are going to say make and it's going to be varchar with the limit of 50. And we are going to say model and it's going to be varchar with the limit of 50. And we will say year and it's going to be integer. Then at the last place we are going to say price and it's going to be decimal and 10 and 2. Great. So we can finish our table like this and I'm going to make this run. And now we should be able to see our table in here. I'm just going to refresh this and here's our table. Great. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to make a copy paste for the data creation. If you are going to solve the questions on your computer, you can just write the same code for having the same data set with me. Or if you're just going to follow the video, then you don't need to do anything. So I'm just going to make this run like this. And then I'm just going to delete this. And I'm going to check how our data table looks like right now. So I will say select everything from cars. And we can see that our table looks great. So we can start with our first question right now. Question 1. Write a query to display all columns for cars manufactured in the year 2020. So for that, what I'm going to do is I will say select everything from cars where year equals to 2020. And when I make this run, we can see our only entry Toyota Camry. This query selects all columns from the cars table where the year is 2020. It helps filter and display cars manufactured in the specified year. So you can think it like a sample from a big database. We are just having a small data set for this video, but you can think it like there will be like thousands of rows if you are going to work with a real database. It's just for testing your skills. Great. Now we are going to go with question 2. Retrieve the average price of cars in the dataset. So for that, I'm going to start by closing this and deleting this. I will say select average price as average price from cars table. So here is our result. The query calculates the average price of cars in the dataset using the average function and aliases the result as average price. Okay, question 3. Write a query to find the most expensive car in the dataset, including its make, model and price. So for that, I'm going to start by closing this one and I will say select make, model, price from cars and then I'm going to order it by order by price and I will say descending. Then I'm going to limit this with 1. So at the end, I'm going to have something like Tesla Model 3. This query selects the make, model and price of the car with the highest price in the dataset. The order by and limit clauses ensure that only the top results is retrieved. Great. Now question 4. Create a query to count the number of cars produced before the year 2020. So we are going to start by closing this result and I'm going to say select count everything as car count from cars where year is less than 2020 like this, and this is going to be our result. This query counts the number of cars in the dataset that were manufactured before the year 2020 using the count function. Question 5. Retrieve a list of car makes along with the total number of cars produced for each make. So for that, what we are going to do is we are just going to start by closing this one and I'm going to say select make and count everything as car count from cars And then we are going to say group by, and we are going to group by make. So this is going to be our result. This query groups the dataset by car make and counts the number of cars for each make using the group by and count functions. Okay, now question 6. Create a query to calculate the average price of cars for each year ordered by the year in ascending order. So for that, let's start by closing this, and we are going to say select year and average price as average price from cars, and we are going to group by year, and we are going to order by year. We don't need to specify like ascending order because it's going to be at the order of the ascending base. So I'm just going to make this run, and here is our result. This query groups the dataset by manufacturing year and calculates the average price for each year. The result is then ordered by year in ascending order. Great. Question 7. Write a query to find cars that have a price above the overall average price in the dataset. So we are going to use a subquery. I'm just going to delete this like this, and I'm going to say select everything from cars where price is greater than, and I'm going to open parentheses, and I'm going to say select average price from cars, and I'm just going to make this run, and here's our result. The query selects all columns from the cars table where the price is higher than the overall average price, calculated using a subquery. Question number 8. Create a query to display the make and model of cars with prices between $25,000 and $35,000. Okay, so I'm going to close this one first, and I'm going to say select make and model from cars where price between 25,000 and 35,000. So this query selects the make and model of cars with prices falling within the special range using between operator. Question number 9. Write a query to update the price of the Tesla Model 3 to $48,000. So for that, I'm going to say, first I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to say update cars table, set price to $48,000 where make equals the Tesla and model equals the Model 3. But I'm not going to make this run because I'm not going to update the table we have, but this is the result we wanted. This query updates the price of the Tesla Model 3 to $48,000 by specifying the make and model in the where clause. Great. Question number 10. Create a query to delete all records of cars manufactured before the year 2019. So for that, we will say delete from cars where year is less than 2019. So I'm not going to make this run too, but this query deletes the records from the cars table where the manufacturing year is earlier than 2019. Question 11. Write a query to find the top 3 most affordable cars in the dataset, including their make, model, and price. So for that, we will say select make, model, price from cars, order by price, limit 3, like this. So this is going to be our result. This query retrieves the make, model, and price of the top 3 least expensive cars in the dataset, ordered by price in ascending order. Question 12. Create a query to calculate the total number of cars for each year in the dataset. So for that, we will say select year and count like this from, I will say as car count firstly, and then I'm going to say from cars group by year. So this is going to be our result. This query groups the dataset by the manufacturing year and counts the total number of cars for each year using the count function. Question 13. Write a query to find cars with a price that is within the 10% of the maximum price in the dataset. So I'm going to start by deleting this. This is going to be a long one, I guess. I will say select everything from cars where price between, and our first subquery like select maximum price multiplied by 0.9 from cars, and our second subquery select maximum price multiplied by 1.1 from cars. And I'm going to make this run, and here's our result. Great. This query selects all columns from the cars table where the price falls within 10% below and 10% above the maximum price in the data set. Question 14. Create a query to display the make and model of cars produced in the year 2021 with prices greater than $30,000. So I will say, I'm just going to close this one firstly. I will say select make and model from cars where year occurs to 2021 and price greater than 30,000, like this. This is going to be our result. This query selects the make and model of cars manufactured in 2021 with prices exceeding $30,000. Question 15. Write a query to calculate the difference in price between the most expensive and least expensive cars in the dataset. So for that I will say select, actually let me close this one firstly, select maximum price minus minimum price as price difference from cars table. So this query calculates the price difference between the most expensive and least expensive cars in the dataset using the maximum and minimum functions. Thanks for watching the video. I'm sharing 2 or 3 new videos every week about data science and Python programming. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I have a playlist named Interview Exercises where I have more than 10 interview exercises with their solutions on that playlist. You can just reach to that playlist from the cards or the description of this video. See you in the next video. Have a great day.